jackhammer sex.
Or,
Never
but
felt
we
good.
were afraid to say, we had to get there so that he felt good about bringing us to orgasm. So we had to say that we did it so that.
If you ask me, Halle Berry is famous for three things. First, being drop-dead gorgeous. Aww. Second, being insanely talented on screen. She's not lying, trust me. And third, girl, she is absolutely hopeless in relationships. If we tried to break down every single romance Holly's had, it would take so long that even Jesus might roll his eyes and come down from the cross just to tell me to stop. And listen to this, Halle hasn't just dated black men. Her wildest, most chaotic relationships, yep, came from white men. We're talking Olivier Martinez, John Ronan, Gabriel Aubry, and with two of them she actually had kids. The crazy part? Despite being this stunning, Halle has mostly ended up with men who make way less money than she does as she's gotten older. And naturally, that brought a lot of shade her way about her dating choices, something she'd eventually have to speak on herself.
Heard people say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man. Like, I'm not crazy.
No.
Right?
And then she came out and said this.
Saying to the universe what I didn't want. So guess what I did? I manifested what I didn't want.
Yeah.
So I really had to change my thinking. And instead of thinking of what I didn't want, I had to get intentional with what I did want. Wow. What was my perfect partner? What would he be like, feel like? What walk of life would he come in? Who would he be? How would he treat me? I got very granular with it. And then he showed up.
Now, Halle Berry came out and said this. After all the drama, she focused, manifested, and poof, the right guy appeared. And guess what? He's younger, makes less money than her, and just happens to be a legendary guitar player named Van Hunt. But hold up. I gotta break this down because it honestly doesn't add up. You're telling me she just pictured her dream man and he magically showed up? Come on. Habits die hard. As it turns out, as Halle got older, her taste in men shifted to guys making less cash. She went from David Justice to Eric Benet to men who, let's be honest, were pretty much at the bottom when it came to earnings. So much so that she was literally investing in these guys. And even now, with Van Hunt, something feels off. It's like Halle's on this tour trying to convince everyone that this relationship is the absolute best move she's ever made.
Or jackhammer sex.
Or,
Never
but
felt
we
good.
were afraid to say, we had to get there so that he felt good about bringing us to orgasm. So we had to say that we did it so that he would feel good about himself. Because what is what is that doing?
Right.
That's putting his needs before our own.
Yeah.
And now I don't do that anymore. I'm like, no, I come first like you come first to you.
Yeah.
We both deserve to have this be a mutually enjoyable experience where we both can roll over and go to sleep because we feel good. Not one snoring and one looking at this thing.
Exactly. What the hell?
What am I doing?
Now, this little booty clapping confession she drops, girl, it feels like moving the goalpost. Suddenly, this is the guy she's always been chasing, and it apparently took a lineup of men to get here. Honestly, a guy like Van Hunt was probably always in reach for Halle Berry, but she just didn't want him. What she really wanted most of the time was a white guy, so much so, she was even willing to pay for it. But see, there were definitely some issues here.
Literally starts paying for a grown man, and I just talked about this on my other channel, she's depleting herself of her feminine energy. So if you ever realize, a woman who pays for stuff, even if it's 50-50 or the whole, set of bills, and a grown man lives in the house, she is pouring her feminine energy into a masculine cause or a masculine man, and therefore she's going to be depleted of it. And when she's depleted of her feminine energy, a man is going to go look elsewhere for more feminine energy because now you have none, because now you're a man. Provide.
I don't usually vibe with Sheer 7, but I gotta admit, this one hits different. Listen, this is textbook behavior. See, if you're a woman as beautiful and high value as Halle Berry, in theory, a man should step up and pay attention. But when you've got attitude problems and only care about yourself, girl, you're not getting the kind of man you want to stick around. David Justice left her. I think Eric Benet might have too, I'm not 100% sure, but David Justice, I know for a fact. Bottom line, she just couldn't find men willing to deal with her. Now she's out here acting like everything's perfect and she's living her best life. But nah, that's not really it. The truth is, the guys she wants, they don't want her. And believe me, I've got receipts.
These sisters are out here paying these white guys child support and spousal support. Name one time when you've ever seen a white woman pay a black man spousal support or child support, I'll wait. I got all day. Something that we don't see, right? Halle Berry ordered to pay Gabrielle Aubrey $16,000 a month in child support for their daughter Nala. The talks Aisha Tyler to pay husband $2 million in spousal support, according to court document.
The fact that Halle Berry is drop-dead gorgeous and has white men making less money than her putting her on child support says everything I need to know about her. Let me break it down. Number one, she's insanely selfish, and you can see it if you look at all of her past relationships. A person who truly respects their partner knows how to solve problems. Halle Berry clearly doesn't. Her relationships rarely last longer than 3 or 4 years. Why? It's simple. It's her way or the highway. That strategy works when you're young and still stunning. But once you hit 35, 40, 45, men start thinking twice. Doesn't mean they don't want to. They see she's still fine at 59. But why bother with someone older and complicated when you can deal with a younger version with similar issues? And that's exactly what happened. The men she wanted, gone. So she had to start paying for it. And not just any men, broke white men. Damn, damn, damn. And now she's out here talking about how amazing Van Hunt is and how in love she feels. But let's be real. Van Hunt isn't some mega successful tycoon with endless options. Honestly, he's probably in the same boat she's in. And he's likely one of those guys who's always admired her, like fan-level obsessed. Think about Russell Wilson and Ciara. She was a single mom, and the reason Russell ended up with her, he'd always been a fan. He even said, if I ever get a chance, I'll marry her. And boom, he did. Van Hunt could be in that exact situation, head over heels for Halle, willing to deal with her drama. But the real reason Halle Berry has never been able to hold on to a man on her level, that's coming next.
Can't expect to be attracting high-value men or men of quality if your life is all over the place. You need to do the inner work before you can start attracting the men that you want. Having this specific lifestyle of being disciplined, accountable, being a high-value woman, the consequence of all that is honestly attracting men left and right. Why? Because we put ourselves in a position to do so.
Halle Berry was never focused enough, never serious enough, and didn't have the mindset or accountability to land a man on her financial level. And guess what? She still hasn't. Whew! She's 59 now, dealing with a younger man who doesn't have the same money she does. In other words, Halle Berry settled for less, and she's trying to dress it up like she didn't, like this is exactly what she wanted. But I can promise you, if Halle was 24, Van Hunt wouldn't get a second glance. At 30, forget it. At 35, he still wouldn't make the cut. Some younger white guy with less cash would have been the one. And that's the thing. Once women reach a certain level, they can easily become someone's second, third, or fourth choice. And there's nothing wrong with that, sometimes. Look at the NFL draft. A player picked in the 3rd or 4th round can still be first-round talent. Brock Purdy, last guy taken in 2022, franchise quarterback now. Prove your value over time. It matters, usually. But women, they often hate being second, third, or fourth choice. They want their first pick. And Halle Berry, she's out here acting like she finally got what she wanted while low-key shading her past partners she's paying child support for. Whew. Reality check, she could never attract the men she wanted. She was too selfish. The good ones passed her by. And now, at 59, the men her age moved on. They found better options. This is reality for more women than they realize. Many will end up with men they're forced to settle for, pretending like, I finally got the guy I wanted, he just appeared. Here's the kicker. Halle Berry didn't just magically get this guy. She's from Cleveland, Ohio. There was no Hollywood coming to her. In 1989, she moved to New York City chasing acting dreams. She ran out of money, even lived in a YMCA homeless shelter just to chase something better. She could do that for herself, but when it came to the man she wanted, nope, he didn't just appear. That's not how it works. You have to put in the work, be on the right path. This guy? Safe choice, probably fine at 59. She doesn't want to marry again. He's there, willing to deal with her exactly as she is, because she won't change. She finally found a man foolish enough to accept her, and that's the truth. This is what happens for a lot of women who don't get what they want.
they take this route, and that's okay. Just be real. Don't throw shade at the men you were clapping cheeks with and having babies with while acting like this new guy is somehow superior. It just doesn't make sense.